we were saying that the new topic is investigating variation. Now, I want from you to write on the chat so that everyone can see, and I'm going to read them, to write what do you understand from the word to investigate. So what does it mean for you? Like, just write it, and I'm gonna read them. Write it. What do you think investigate means?
Like, write it in the comments, or?
No, on the chat. Just write it on the chat. What do you?
To everyone, or just
yes, to everyone, so that everyone can see it, and I'm gonna read the answers. To examine something, to observe something. Yes, very good. What else? Researching on something. Yes. The others? A study. Okay, very good. Where are the others? Focusing on something, to examine data. What else? The others? Why aren't they writing? Yes, but I want from all of you, so that each of you can write his own idea, okay? To study the specific thing and learn more about it, very good. On a specific topic, carry out a systematic or formal inquiry to discover and examine the facts or data, very good. To examine something or learn more about it, very good. So all these ones, in fact, they do have to do with the word investigate. So we know that in order to investigate certain data that we have collected, we analyze it, right? So we need to find out more about what we have collected. Now, there are some key concepts or key terms related with the investigation, okay? The same as the ones that are written at your book. Please open your books on page 58, as we said. And there is an example given in there where collected some daisy flowers, and they're going to number the number of petals, okay? We're going to find out how many petals do these collected flowers have, okay? Now, the key terms that we're going to deal while investigating on frequency diagrams are the range. Noeli, can you read? What is the range?
The range is the spread of values from the smallest number of petals you counted to the largest number. The range for the number of petals on the daisy flower is 17 to 21.
Right. So the range is the spread of values. Okay. So how many different values we do have according to the collected daisy flowers. And we have the median. What is the median?
Can I read it?
Yes, Rhea?
The median is the middle value in your results. The median number of petals on the daisy flowers is 19.
Now, if you see in here, this one is the median. Okay, and in order to find out the median, how do we find it? What do we need to do before finding it out? Do we need to arrange the numbers, or how have you learned it on math? Do you remember? How do we find the median?
How do you find the median?
How can we find the median? Clay?
Median?
Yes.
Yes, please.
We put the numbers in ascending or descending order, and we find the median number.
Yes, very good. We need to arrange the numbers, for example, from the smallest to the largest, or the opposite, and we find out the middle value of it. And the middle value of the collected daisy flowers is the number 19 of the petals. Okay. And we have the mode. Can you read it, Emilia? Emilia, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, yes, Emily, yes, please.
The mode?
Yes, the mode.
The mode is the most common value. The mode for the number of petals of the daisy flowers is 20.
Now, if we go back on the frequency diagram, we said that the mode for the number of petals of the collected daisy flower is 20, and we can easily understand it in here because the column of the number of petals for 20 is bigger than the others, which means that, how can we read this? Who can read this graph? What does this represent?
This graph shows the frequency of.
So, can you read it? So by the given value, Hanoile?
So the flowers with the numbers of petals 20 were 3.
Very good. So for the 3 collected daisy flower, from the collected daisy flowers, 3 of them, they do have 20 petals, okay? So that is the most common value. And the mean is the, Enyo?
The average.
Yes.
The average.
Is the average.
Yes, Enyo, please.
We find the mean by adding up all of the values or the numbers and then dividing it by how many numbers there are.
Okay, very good. So the mean, in fact, is the average, and we find it out, as you said, by adding up all the values that we have and dividing it by the total number that we have. Now, let me show you an exercise. Now, this is the exercise. 2 students have counted the number of leaves on each of the canna plants in their class garden. Canna plants are these plants which are given in here. And these boys, they did draw their results in a frequency diagram as it is shown in here. And we said last time that it is important while constructing a frequency diagram to firstly determine the components of x-axis and y-axis. So those components that we are dealing, we're gonna find out the number or count the number of leaves per each plant that we have collected. The students have done it for us. Now, there are given some questions. It says, what is the smallest number of leaves on a canna plant that they have collected? The smallest number of leaves. Can you see it in here? Can you find it out? What is the smallest number of leaves according to the frequency diagram given?
Yes.
Yes? Can you tell
Yes.
me, please?
Okay. It's
the smallest
14.
number.
14 and 15. They're the same.
Yes.
The smallest number of, not of plants that have.
I think it's 9.
9.
Is 9, because that is, we're not dealing how many plants have, for example, 14 leaves or 15 leaves, okay? We're dealing with the number of petals, number of leaves, sorry. The number of leaves in the canna plants, and the least number is, the smallest, 9 leaves. And how many of canna plants that they have collected have 9 leaves?
3.
3, as you see in the column in here. How many plants have 12 leaves?
3.
3 plants, if you see the column belonging to the number 12 in here. Now we're gonna find the mode and the median. What is the mode for the
Mode,
number of
the most common value.
And
So
what
it's
is
11.
It is 11. So the mode is the most common value. And how do we find it out? How can we explain that the 11 number is the mode of the number of leaves in these plants?
Because it's higher, the column is higher. So it means that it's more, it is in more plants.
Very good. So we find this number on more plants than the other number of leaves. For example, 6 of the collected canna plants, they do have 11 leaves, okay, in this diagram. And what's the median? They are sorted for you, in fact.
The
What's
median,
the median?
12.
Median is the
12.
middle value.
But here in this diagram, it's 12 plants with 12 number of things.
Yes, plants with 12. If you see in here, okay, that is the middle value. 3 on the left, 3 on the right. Yes, very good. Now, I want from you to open your workbooks on page 38. There is the variation in holly leaves, okay? Now, there are collected 18 leaves of the holly tree, okay? And what you are going to do, you are going to count the number of prickles. Prickles are these like spikes, okay, in here. These are called prickles, okay? Now, by looking at each of these 18 leaves, you're going to answer the questions below. It says, question number 1, count the number of prickles on each leaf and write them down. Please, on your workbook, can you write down the values belonging to these leaves?